Hello, 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 and good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am Caron Bailey, your independent demonstrator in Austin, Texas, here with you today for another episode of the Roll of the Die YouTube Hop. Today, I'm hopping with one additional hopper, and you'll find her information, Miss Karen Finley, also a fellow Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and you will find her information in the description box. So I hope you join her and check out what she's got to offer today with the elements from the Roll of the Die. Before we get into Roll of the Die, you guys, as always, I try to get some admin things out of the way. Anything you see me demonstrate in the project today, feel free to shop on my online store at www.sweetsignatures.stampinup.net. And when you do shop, if you do shop with us, please make sure to use the host code for any orders of $149 or less. If you are going to place an order with me that is more than $149, please connect with me so I can make sure that you reap all of the hostess rewards or host rewards accordingly. Let me also say a quick happy Easter to everyone. I'm not sure how everybody celebrates, but however you do celebrate the season, I wish you a happy Easter today. Okay, also take a look, and for every $50 you purchase, for a $50 or more order that you place in my online store, you will receive a free gift with purchase. Never know what I'm going to give you, but you will receive a gift with purchase. Don't forget to check out our last chance exclusive, our last chance products. As you know, our catalog is we're actually getting ready to end one catalog and start a new one. And that catalog will go live on May 2nd. So right now we're going through what we call the last chance period, where you can purchase any of the products from either the January to April mini catalog or the annual catalog that ends on May 1st. Also, guys, please subscribe to my channel. I am definitely trying to grow my channel to hit at least 300 subscribers by the end of April. Also, subscribe to my newsletters, you guys. I just sent out a newsletter this morning, and in my newsletter, I am launching my In Color Club, my inaugural In Color Club. And what my In Color Club is with the new catalog, and every year Stampin' Up! Rolls out new In Colors. And it's 5 colors in the set. I see that I'm buffering, you guys. So if you lose me, I will come back. If I repeat myself, it's because I see that I'm buffering. So let me know, reach out to me, Stampin', and let me know where you're from, and if you're having any connection issues, or if you're seeing connection issues on my side. So again, I keep getting these messages that I keep disconnecting and connecting. So again, apologize. I'll take a look at the preview or whatever it is after, and if I have issues, I may just redo it for you guys. But anyway, it is what it is. So without further ado, you guys, let's get started in the Roll of the Die. What is Roll of the Die? I have these awesome dies that I've purchased from Tamra at Tada, T-A-D-A Moments on Etsy. She's a fellow Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and each month at the end of this video, I will roll the die, and whatever die the dies roll, we have to create projects with those elements. So this month, the elements, last month, the elements rolled were, we had to use the Stampin' Up! Neutrals color collection. We had to use texture, celebration, congratulations, sorry, clean and simple. I'm missing one. I'm gonna remember what it is. And coloring. Now, coloring for each of the demonstrators that are participating in the hop can mean anything. coloring is just that, is adding color to something. So that may take on different forms for everyone. So let me share with you the project that I made that I am going to create for you today. So this is my template or my sample. And as you can see, the colors I used, this was my template, so I didn't quite incorporate all of the colors. So here's my texture. I use the timber embossing folder. My colors are Smoky Slate. This is the color that I chose. And then coloring was my little ink blending in the back. And here's my congratulations, look at you. Okay, now I don't go, I'd be like, so when I talk to my friends sometimes and they did good something, I'd be like, girl, look at you. So to me, that's a congratulatory phrase. All right, so let's get started. I know this color I used was Orchid Oasis, and Orchid Oasis is not part of the neutrals, but sometimes most times when I make my samples, I don't necessarily always use the elements, just making sure that I knew my sizes and so on that I wanted to use. So let's go look at the parts and pieces that we're going to use in today's card. I posted earlier that I am focusing on the what am I focusing on? I'm focusing on the Delicate Desert bundle, and you can find the Delicate Desert bundle in the mini catalog on page, I think it was page 44 and 44, 45, 46. And so I'm continuing with that theme. So most things that I'm using are part of that bundle. So let me lay out for you the parts and pieces that we're going to use today so that you will have the same if you're wanting to recreate this card. Our card base is a piece of cardstock, that basic white, that is a 5.5 by 8.5, and it's scored at 4 1/4. We're going to need a piece of designer of basic white, another one that is 4 by 5 1/4. You're going to need a piece of designer series paper, you guys. And if you don't have the dies in this bundle, you're going to need a piece that's 3 inches by 4 inches. But I used the die that was in the bundle, and it came out to be 3 2 5/8 by 4 7/8. So those are the pieces you're going to need in the basic white. And then you're going to need some scrap so you can stamp and die cut the images that you're going to use. And I'm going to use 3 of the larger floral elements, okay? And then we're going to need a piece of cardstock, and I'm using Mary Merlot. So my colors for in colors are Smoky Slate and Mary Merlot. So let me lay these parts and pieces out so that if you are taking down the measurements, you can see them and drop them down. They will also be available on my blog. So if you don't happen to catch them, you can find them over on my blog. Give me about 2 to 3 days to make sure that I get everything right on there. And then you can, the blog will go live. If I happen to get it done before, outstanding. If not, 2 to 3 days, and it will be available on the blog. Okay. You're also going to need a second piece that's 4 by 5 1/4 for the inside. Okay. So let's get started on this card. And this is going to be very quick and very easy. And you'll see what we're going to do. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to stamp our sentiment in VersaFine, and we're going to heat set it. That's another texture. I'm going to use another element for texturing is the heat embossing. So I'm going to stamp and I'm going to heat emboss my sentiment. I didn't bring my glasses in here. If my head gets in the way, you guys, please excuse me. So I'm going to put this down towards the bottom. Okay, now VersaFine gives you a pretty black, oh, I went a little cattywampus there, but that's okay. So one of the things I tried today was a heat embossed black heat embossing powder on black ink, and the black was so, I mean, it was amazing. I loved it. So that's what I think I'm going to do. Normally when I heat emboss, I would put clear over my embossing powder or my black, but I think I've just fallen in love with black on black. It comes out really, really crisp, right? So that's kind of what I've started doing, and I just did that today. I'm like, wonder what that would look like, and I love the look. So that might be what I'm using or what I do from here on out. It all depends. It might be project dependent. As you can see, I did not use my tool, my heat emboss buddy. So I'm going to make sure that I brush away any excess powder so that it does not make my card look a mess. All right, so let's go ahead and heat emboss this guy. And the thing to look for, if you're new to heat embossing, you want to get your heat tool as warm as possible. You want to make sure that happens, but you want to keep an eye on your project, right? Because you don't want it to burn. So keep an eye on it. And as it starts to change, that's kind of when you should make sure that your heat moves away from the melting powder. So here we go. I don't know about you, but I can see that it's starting to change. And it goes from maybe like a matte color to more of a shiny, glossy color. And that's all we're going to do for the heat embossing. Now, the other thing I'm going to do is when I die cut my template, my big flower. Oh, I didn't show you guys. I meant to do that. So the images that I'm using are coming from the Delicate Desert Details bundle. And I'm using this distinctive ink. And now this is another way of adding color. It's a distinctive stamp. And I'm using the sentiment, I'm using the sentiment from the Celebration Retired, Thanks a Bunch. I believe this is, I can't remember, but I'm using Look at You. And then on the inside, I'm going to stamp Everything's Coming Up Carrots. Okay. Maybe, I'm not sure. So anyway, once we've done that, what I'm going to do is to make sure that my color takes on that shape, I'm going to use the negative space from one of my die cuts, and I'm going to go in with my Merry Merlot, and I'm going to add some color. Another way of coloring. Okay, so I'm going to do that. Make sure I have some ink. And then make sure I dab off a little bit. And then go right in with my Merry Merlot. To add some color. Just so that my shape has a little bit of, or my where I'm coloring has a little bit of a shape. And if you happen to see under it, you'll see the tinges of that color. Okay, so that's what that's going to look like. And I'm probably going to do another this way. Okay. And I'm using a sponge dauber for this one. Okay. And that's all the coloring I'm going to use here. Okay, I'm going to keep this. And so now I used generational stamping for my roses. Okay, as you can see, they're different shades. So I have from the darkest stamped off and then third generation. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring my embossed piece that is 4 by 5 1/4. And I'm also going to bring in the piece that is 3 by 4 1/4 of Mary Merlot. And I'm going to adhere with liquid glue. And of course, you know, I use liquid glue because I have to use liquid glue because y'all know it takes me a minute to make sure that I position things. So liquid glue helps me with that. Okay. Then I'm just going to align this to make sure I have evenly spaced borders all around. So I've colored, I've added texture. I have my congratulatory sentiment. I'm looking for my, what am I looking for now? I know I put it over here because I knew I was going to need it. My foam adhesive. I tell you, the more sometimes you try to be organized, the less you get to be organized, right? And so I'm just going to cut a piece to make sure that I'm aligned. And again, in these types of things, I just don't measure. I kind of eyeball things. I kind of just eyeball them. If you're joining me, please take a minute. Let me know you're here and where you're watching from. And I thank you for joining me. If you're watching on the replay, please do the same. And if you are watching on the replay, just type hashtag replay. And if you have any questions at all, let me know and I will respond to you as soon as I can. All right, so then I'm going to just align this. Again, making sure that I'm evenly spaced. And then all I'm going to do now is try to position my stamps. So do I want to do my floral images like this, or do I just want to have the 2 darkest pieces down and the lightest one? I think that's what I want to do. Okay, so now that I've decided that and my alignment, okay, I know where I want my adhesive to be. So I'm going to make sure that that happens. All right. And then the same up here. Like this. And then the last thing I'm going to add is the third one. And I'm going to add some dimensionals to that one. And lay this guy out in a different orientation like this. Okay. And then the one thing I'm looking for is I'm looking for my Wink of Stella, y'all, because you know I gotta add me some bling here. And I'm not quite sure where I put my Wink of Stella pen. Oh, there it is. So I want everybody to have a little bit of sparkle and shine. So again, I just kind of swivel and swirl to add some sparkle and shine. And fortunately for me, it doesn't take the color of anything, so I'm not worried about that. Okay, so we have some sparkle and shine. Can you see the sparkle and shine? All right, so for the last thing we're gonna do, well, next to last thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna bring in my card base. And this is again 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And now I'm just going to add it to the card base. And again, don't forget, when you have embossed a piece of cardstock, you need to use a little bit of a stronger adhesive or liquid glue for it to get into the cracks and crevices and to be able to ensure that it won't fall apart. You'll have a strong hold. Okay, so there we go. My bone folder, and I'm going to use my bone folder to press. Oops, what's going on here? I just made a mess there. Press that adhesive and your fold, burnish. There we go. There we go. Perfect. And lastly, on the outside anyway, we need to find some gems. Here they are. And add some gems. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. One more thing before we pack this up and call this card finished is we have got to now, and I did not cut a piece, so I have to do that while I'm on camera, is we have got to now add our inside. Now, this is an optional step, and it's optional only because you don't have to do this. Because you're using a white card base, you can stamp it on the inside as is, but I'm going to trim this down and I'm going to add another piece of basic white to the inside. That's 4 by 5 1/4. All right, let's trim this off. I pulled out my older Stampin' Up trimmer. I found that it still works. Not that it wasn't working before. 4 by 5 1/4. Okay. Now that we have that part done, on the inside of my other card, what I ended up doing was stamping the floral image. But I think for this one, because I want to incorporate more of the the bundle stamps is I'm going to use one of these images, the border images, and I'm going to add to my card on the inside. Okay. Perfect. And now I am going to stamp like so. Add an edge. And I'm also going to make sure that I also stamp my envelope. Let me grab an envelope. Because we like to have fancy envelopes as well. So let's get our envelope done. There we go. And one more on the back. All right, guys, we're almost to the end of creating this card. So if you've joined me either on the replay and you've shared and subscribed, please comment shared or subscribed, and then you'll be entered into winning this card that we created today as a thank you for participating and watching our Roll of the Die episode. All righty. We are done with this almost, except to add our inside of the card. Here we go. And we're going to add this to the inside. And then our card will be 100% complete. Don't forget, the new catalog goes live on May 2nd. If you do not have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and you would love to have a catalog, please connect with me and I would be more than happy to get you a catalog. If you do have a current demonstrator, or you are do have a demonstrator but you're watching, please connect with your demonstrator for to get your copy of your catalog. All right, so here we go. This card is complete, y'all. And here's what we have. So we have made all the elements for today. We have from our neutrals collection. We are working with a card that is in Smoky, Slate, and Mary Merlot. We added texture by heat embossing our sentiment, and also by embossing our layer here, our basic white layer, and we use the Timber 3D embossing folder. We colored two-step stamping by adding colored with that color, and then also by using the negative of our die cut to add some color with some blending. Hey, Michelle, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And then what was the other one? Clean and simple. Clean and simple to me means we use as very few elements as possible. And I think this card meets all of those elements. So thank you for watching, you guys. Now the last thing we do at the end of all of our roll of the die is we've got to roll the die for next month to see what we're working with next month. So hang on a moment. Let me grab our dies, our dies, and get to rolling. All righty. Where's my little basket? Oh, there's my basket. It's buried under everything. So let's see. Are you ready? No? Clean and simple is not that easy. It's one of the hardest things to do. All right, let's see what the die has in store for next month. But I missed you hopping today, Michelle. I always do. I want to wish you a happy Easter. All righty. I don't want to look. Reaching in. If it's something we've done in the last couple, have we done paper piecing? We've done paper piecing, right? Let me know if it's something that we've done in the recent past, and we'll re-roll the die. I don't want us to keep doing the same things. All righty. I think we just did that one, right? Add DSP foil, etc. Let's see. I think we just did friendship too. Regals. Now, all of the regals, the brights, everything, they're changing as of May 2nd, the new catalog. So Stampin' Up has undergone what we call a color refresh. And with that color refresh, there's some shifting of which colors are in the neutrals, which are in the regals, which are wherever. So when we start doing this in next month, you might see that our color palettes change a little bit. So I think have we done any of these before, Michelle? We just did paper piecing. She said we did it twice. So I'm gonna take that one out. Didn't we just do friendship too? Okay, so I'm gonna adjust some of these things because I want to. So we're gonna do die cuts. We're gonna go with the in colors. Ooh, this one I'm gonna roll. No, I don't want to do that. Sorry. Friendship was once. Okay, so we'll keep friendship. We haven't done that. We've done this one too, haven't we? All right. And then last, we're going to change this one, the paper piecing. Embossing. I feel like we've done embossing recently too. I know I'm cheating. Okay, well, there you go. These are the color, these are the elements for May roll of the die. And we need to make sure we incorporate friendship, embossing, die cuts in some way, shape or the other, and use in colors. Yes, my favorite, absolutely. And add DSP or foil or some sort of a specialty paper. You guys, with that, I thank you so much for joining me today for this month's roll of the die. Don't forget to hop on over and check out Caron Finley's blog, YouTube. For today, her roll of the die, and see what she's made. Don't forget to leave a comment on her page, her site as well, and show her a little appreciation for the work that I know she's doing to create these projects. I don't have my calendar. I never ever do. Hold on. There's a calendar right on my computer, right? So I should be able to tell you what the next date is. The second Sunday in April, I'm sorry, in May is May 14th. That's not Mother's Day or anything, is it, Michelle? Because I don't keep track of holidays, unfortunately. So May 14th is when we'll come to you with the next roll of the die. If you are a demonstrator and you are watching this and you're interested in participating in our roll of the die series, message me, leave a comment here, message me how to get in touch with you, and I can add you to our event page where you'll find all of the details regarding how to participate in roll of the die. So again, thank you guys for joining me. Happy Easter and happy stamping.